I'm gonna start by just going over my golden rules with you. My golden rules really focus on setting the dog up to be a very well-behaved dog. I always aim for like well-behaved before well-trained, meaning who cares if you have a dog that like shakes, rolls over, does every trick in the book, if you can't get your dog to listen to you, you know, when you're out places, that's pulling on you, you know, just kind of adds more stress. What I always aim to do is like get your dog to listen to you the first time, every single time. What I always say is that if you were to teach your dog one thing, it should be focus. If you always have your dog's focus, you can get your dog to do anything and you can prevent your dog from doing anything. Right. And that's something that I see is just so lacking. You know, focus is basically what I do for my service dog training. You know, if you see a service dog, all they're doing is focusing up on their handler. Right. And if we work on that focus piece, obviously it doesn't have to be as strict, you know. With every dog, it just goes so far. So that's really what I aim to do, and just break the stubbornness and just, you know, get you and your dog on the same page. So my number one rule is to only ever say her name positively. So if you do have to tell her no, don't use her name with it. Gotcha. One, because it's going to be a lot more effective if you're trying to get her attention when you want to say her name negatively, like when she's getting excited outside about the dog. You know, a lot of owners, it's just our natural instinct to be like, Truffle, no, don't do that, no. What's more motivating? That dog that has her attention, or you telling her no? Right. She's gonna be like, screw you, you know, why should I look at you? It's the number one thing that I solve with like dogs who bark constantly at the door when like people or dogs walk by. Mm-hmm. And that's what I end up seeing at every single session is like, naturally, you know, we just say, no, don't do that. Truffle, no, don't do that. She's not going to respond to that at all. Just making that simple switch to Truffle, she's going to be like, oh, something better over there. It goes so far. So I use the name as a command to focus, basically. Gotcha. So Truffle, refocus up here, yes. And obviously she's going to be a lot more likely to do that with a positive tone. Hi, sit. Yes. Down. Yes, sit. These are puppy push-ups. Have you ever done this?
No.
Down. That's funny. She's going usually, yes, down. Up. Yes, down. Up. Look how good you are. Down. Usually takes dogs a while to click. Yeah. Down. From going from down to up, because it's not natural. She's probably never had to do that, but she got it instantly. You are so smart. Good girl. You could set the record for push-ups, I think. Oh my goodness. That's so good, Truffle. Down. You're outside. You have to be more motivating than anything out there. That's very hard to do. Mm-hmm. The only way that you have a chance of doing that is if her name is always positive. So basically it's the same kind of thing for recall down the road. If like she's off leash somewhere, there's another dog, a squirrel, something you don't want her getting at. If you say Truffle, come, if sometimes her name is a negative thing, like she's in trouble, she's gonna look at you like, am I in trouble? Or is it a good thing? Not gonna chance it. I'm gonna go and get that squirrel. I'm gonna go and chase that dog. So you want her name to basically, you don't want to give her any room to think about like, am I in trouble? It's like, oh, Truffle, I get a treat over here. It's positive always, so that she's always going to respond to it. I doubt that you say her name negatively very often at all.
Yeah. But that does make a lot of sense. So.
Yeah. And it's never like for my dogs, everyone always asks how I have them so good at recall. They in any situation they'll come, no matter what, instantly. Honestly, I never did any kind of recall exercises with either of them. There's a lot you can do. It just started with their name was positive from day one. And now it's like when they hear their name, they're like, oh, instantly. And just adding that come onto it, same kind of concept. So it goes so far with everything. Down. So my next rule is that if you do have to tell her no, because positive reinforcement isn't all sunshine and rainbows, you do have to tell a dog when they're doing the wrong thing, but you have to redirect her to what's right. So redirection is key to shaping behavior. And with redirection, it's not so much for that instance that you are, you know, so to speak, scolding her for, it's for the next time. So what I mean by that is, let's say she's chewing on this. With every single bad behavior, you have to think about why she's doing it. So she's chewing on that because she has a need to chew. So that need doesn't go away, you know, and that's what we're just very quick to say, no, don't do that. Well, just telling her no, she still is gonna have that need. So the next time, you know, she's probably gonna stop if you just tell her no, because she can tell you're upset. The next time she has that need to chew, however, she's gonna go right back to that. So that's where the redirection comes into play. No, you don't chew on that. You can say no, don't use her name with it. And then give her what is appropriate to chew on. And I'm sure you did a lot of that with, like, you know, when she was a puppy.
Yeah.
Is she pretty good about not getting into things anymore?
Yeah, pretty much. Whenever, the only thing that I have a problem with is she'll like kind of like investigate in like the trash can or like the bathroom when I'm gone at work. But I feel like that's just because she's bored and...
Yeah, is it always when you're gone?
Yeah.
So it's like she knows now and just knows when she can get away with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does she have access to come inside, or is the trash out?
So it's just in the bathroom, like the
okay.
Trash. So she'll get like tissues or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So when you're gone at work, does she have access in the whole place?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you just leave the patio open as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So she goes through my room, goes to the back patio. She needs to have like a little potty path back there.
Got it. Okay.
So she.
And that's really all that she gets into?
Yeah.
That's really good, actually.
Seriously,
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And even if that, I'm just starting to shut the door now. And
Yeah.
no
Just
big deal.
don't give her the opportunity to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Things like that. That's exactly what you have to do. Get it. That's exactly what you have to do, is just take away the opportunity. If you catch, you know, really to correct things, you have to catch her in the act of it. Because even if you come home and you're scolding her, you know, she's gonna be upset, or she's gonna know, it's gonna seem like she knows what she did, but she cannot. Dogs are not that intelligent to actually connect the two in their brain. Like, oh, I'm getting yelled at for, what do you do for a treat? Sit. Over here. You can do it. Come on. She's like, there's a fly there, there's that, what do I do? Yes, good girl. So even things like that, even though I think like if you are sitting down at their level, you're kind of inviting them, but if you didn't want her jumping up, you know, instead of just like, no, get off, you get what you want because she gets off, but you want to tell her what to do the next time she wants to do that. Sit in front of me for my attention. What is that, Truffle? Is there anything else? Oh, jumping when people come in, right? She's a jumper a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. And
I mean,
she's
small and it's not that huge.
Same with whenever she's out and about walking on the leash, she'll do that too. She'll jump up on people. Or another thing that I've noticed is that every time we come back from a long walk, in this stretch of once we're in the parking lot, she'll bite the leash and start pulling. Like she doesn't
on the way back?
It's always in the same spot. So it's like
trying to control pulling.
It's like,
in.
oh hey, like I don't want to go back yet.
Oh,
but we, you know what I mean?
Fighting it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's always in this like home stretch right here at the parking lot. She'll grab the leash and then she'll start pulling.
Got it.
It's kind of weird. Yeah. And there's, you know,
so smart.
Other times she does it too, but mostly that's like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. We'll work on that too. So with that, we can teach her like a drop it command, as well as what I would do is when she is chewing on it, stop, direct her to sit and refocus on you. Huge thing with like focusing on the walk is what I find, like dogs who are chewing, once we just do a little bit with like leash training, reach up and work on the focus. So if you get to that spot and you're like, okay, I know she's gonna want to, let's redirect her to focus and just try to keep her focused. You got an itch? Hi, ready? And have her focusing that whole time like this, even if it's on the treat in the beginning. This will make more sense when we do like leash training. she's not, if she's focusing on you, she can't multitask. So she can't be like biting at the leash.
Gotcha.
So that's something that I would try to do, and that's one thing that I say too. You know, the second you go out the door, most dogs naturally have 0% focus on their owners. So just trying to get her to like check in and make that eye contact solves majority of problems on the leash. Off, so there's that. Sit, yes. So what do you usually do when she jumps up? Just tell her off?
Yeah, or what I'll do is I'll just stop and I won't walk, and I kind of just like sit, you know, stand there for a little bit till she kind of chills out a little bit.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
When she's jumping or when she's biting or
when
both?
she's like either or, like
Okay,
jumping up
that's
or
what I was
pulling
gonna
on the
say too.
leash. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
So I just stop and then I just don't walk till she.
Yes.
But then once I, you know, start walking again, she'll do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where what I would say is like, okay, she stops, aim to have her focus. Hi, Truffle, up here. Focus on me. This is your only job on the walk. Yes. Oh. Yes, good. And is she a jumper, like if you have something that she wants? Okay.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. So with the jumping, yeah, what you want to do is turn, redirect her to sit. Yes, give her the treat when she's sitting. I can already tell you now she's gonna be try to be a step ahead of us and know that jumping up leads to being told sit, which leads to a treat. The really intelligent dogs, that clicks with them, and I can already tell you it's gonna be her.
Yeah.
So what you can start doing, you know, when you first get home, definitely redirect her off and sit, because she's jumping up, you know, again, you have to think about why. She wants your attention, she wants what's in my hand. How do you get that instead? You sit. And she already redirected herself, so she already knows. So with that, so when you're just, you know, when you're working with her like this, I'm already going to tell you like the trick to be a step ahead of her with that then is going to be, watch, yeah, she already did it. You've never redirected her to sit after the jumping, right?
No.
That's amazing how quick she just picked that up. Truffle! So right there is the time when dogs are digging in my bag that a lot of times owners are like, Truffle! And that's where you want to say, Truffle, over here, it's better over here. It's like, what's more motivating, that bag of treats or you saying Truffle? She's not gonna pay attention to you. So with the jumping up, when you're getting home and it's more of just like an excitement thing, that's when like you do wanna redirect, tell her to sit, praise her, give her attention when she's sitting. She wants your attention, so you wanna tell her jumping up isn't how you get my attention, but Truffle, over here. Yes, but sitting is. So don't even say hi to her. You know, when she's jumping up, don't pat her because that's reinforcing that behavior.
Right.
So make sure that you get her to sit. And what I would try to do is when you walk in, like as you see her coming, try to direct her to a sit immediately. It's gonna be hard and that's something that takes a little while, but with everything, you just have to be consistent with it, and redirection gets really repetitive. It's like, when is it gonna click? How you get my attention is just sitting immediately, but it will. The other exercise you can do, put this up right now, is hold something like this. So I'm gonna set her up to want to jump on me. Hi. And now you know. Hi, okay, maybe if I just ignore you. Off, sit, yes. And I'll get to that yes in a second, but yes is my clicker word. So yes, you still want to praise her for what she did right. Off, sit, yes. Try again. I'll give her the yes only if I have to redirect her. If she goes straight to the sitting, I'll give her a treat. Off, sit, yes. Hi, Truffle. Off, sit, yes. Try again. Hi. Yes. Now she gets both. So it's just motivation to have the full self-control immediately. Because what ends up happening is if she gets the treat, no matter if she sits first and has full self-control, off, sit, yes. Or she gets the treat for jumping up and then sitting, why should she control herself fully? This is something you can do if she likes to do that on counters or anything like that too. Truffle. Yes, good. I just practiced that, so I like to do this. Hi. Can you stand up? Kind of have to get her standing up to see what she's gonna actually do. She's like, I'll just stay sitting. Good girl. You are sitting, yes, so I'll give it to you then. So, does that make sense?
As far as, yeah.
With the jumping up, practice that for sure, because that will go really far with the jumping. But always redirect. Is there anything else she does that you're wondering, how do I redirect her, or what do I redirect her to? Things will probably come up.
Yeah.
So, that's that. Yes, very good. Good girl. So my next rule is to not overlook when she is behaving. And it sounds, positive reinforcement sounds simple. You praise them for what you want them to repeat, what you like. But a lot of times the good behaviors are often overlooked. For instance, as a puppy, if she's chewing on that, we're very quick to tell her no. If she does just go and chew her antler, it's like, oh, thank God, that's what she's chewing on. I have like 5 minutes to not hover over her, and worry about what she's doing. So you want to make sure that you're feeding into like, yes, that's what I want you to chew on. Dogs forever want to be praised for what they're doing right. Intelligent dogs, and I don't think she has this personality, so to speak, as to like be stubborn, but intelligent dogs tend to know what they're getting negative attention for, and they go and do that because attention is attention. So this is my next rule, yes, down, is to never repeat a command. Have you heard this before? Okay, so this is super important because on average, I would say 99% of owners repeat a command 3 to 5 times before the dog actually does what you're asking him to do. So what I mean by that is down. Of course, you do it right away. So let's do this. Sit. Right here, they would say it, sit, sit, sit. How many times did I say that? 4. So, and that's, it's just human nature to keep repeating it until she does it. So what that tells her is, if I tell her to sit, yes, 4 times, the next time that I command her to sit, she's gonna think, I don't have to sit until I'm told 4 times, or let's see how many times she'll say it before she just gives up. So you want your dog to think, I'm gonna say this once, and I mean it, I'm gonna follow through with it, and you need to do it after 1 time. So what this does is just makes her sit at, she's like, after the first time, every single time. And that's what you want. You wanna tell your dog, come once, and she comes, You don't wanna have to sit there and play that game, like, oh, how many times are you gonna say it? So dogs have the mindset of thinking, the longer that I push this out, and you hunting the fly, the more likely they are to give up. And they're 100% right. Most of the time, if you say sit 20 times and she doesn't, it's like, forget it. I didn't want you to sit anyways. So you have to switch that mindset to let her know, okay, I was commanded to do something once. I know I'm gonna have to do it. So the faster that I do this, the faster I can get back to whatever I wanna do. So along with saying something once is that you have to follow through with what you ask her to do. And that is super huge. And especially when we go outside, like the focus aspect and asking her to do things, she's not going to want to because she's going to want to get distracted by things, so following through is super huge. And so with the command once, if you still have her focus, all it takes is patience and reinforcing the hand gesture. Down. Truffle. So if you lose her focus, you can repeat her name or any kind of sound to refocus her. So here's a perfect example. Truffle. So I'm going to redirect her back over here. She's like, what was that? Over here. I'm still not going to repeat that command. Yes, good. So there, naturally someone would probably say it, I mean, at least a few times, you know? So that's what's really important, is like I said it, even if you get distracted by the fly, you still have to do it. So that's just gonna go very far. Down. Yes, good. And what I do with the down, what you can start doing now, sit, is kind of wean off of, yes, the luring. So what I'll do is try it up here, down. Give it a few seconds to let it click. If it's not clicking, we'll go a little lower. You know. Yes, she's like, I know if there's a treat there. Yes, good girl. And I am all for treats in the beginning stage of training. Get her to think her name means a treat, down means a treat, come means a treat. Everything means a treat, especially outside, to shift her natural focus from being distracted to up here. Treats are amazing. But you have to wean off of the treats in the right way so that that same focus is ingrained no matter if you're holding a treat or not. And so many people, down. Yes, good job. So many people use treats, and then they're like, okay, you got all of this. I'm not gonna use treats at all anymore, and quit the treats cold turkey. And I always say, it's just like if your boss were to tell you, I'm not gonna pay you for your job anymore one day. Like, what motivation would you have to do anything? She's like, no, thank you. Truffle down. Let's see if she'll do it without a hand gesture now. Go back to that. Yes, good. So see, when you're weaning off of like the luring, you just try the hardest thing first, let it click, give her a few seconds to try to let it click. If it doesn't, then you can slowly go more and more. So often, like when I find people that dogs know how to lay down, it's like, oh, I've never tried that. I always just, you know, touch the floor. I didn't even know that it would click from doing it up here or just saying it verbally. And the dog knows. Down. You can do it. And this is going to be really good, just like brain work for her, you know? I'm going to see what I say. Yes, good girl. I bet you'll get it. I bet you'll get it by today. You're so smart. So, what I use for my clicker word is yes. You've probably heard me say it. So it's just very specific, you know, to the training, and you don't usually just say like yes by itself a lot, so she knows. So right now, pair it with the treat. The other thing that I love the clicker word for is teaching and prolonging focus. So many people will ask me like, how do you get dogs focus? My dog has an attention span of a fish, like nothing. So a dog is never going to just be like, oh, I'm gonna focus on my owner. You know, there's so many better things to do. Like, we have to teach her that she has the focus. She doesn't know. So eventually what I like this for is truffle. With every single command that we'll do, we'll teach her to hold positions. Because another issue is like, okay, my dog does it, but then goes right back to, you know, whatever she wants. So I'm gonna tell her, sit, yes. 7. Give her it at 7, because you want to try to catch her before she totally loses it, but you want to try to push it every single time. So now this time I'm going to try for 8. Saying that clicker word immediately is really important, because if you don't, people try to do this and make the dogs wait for the treat. It's like when she sits, she's like, hello, I sat, right? You know, so you have to tell her that yes, you did it, but you gotta wait. 12. Good. Does that make sense with the focus and all that, the clicker word?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That will be good for you. So now what we'll do is teach her a wait. Do you make her wait at the door at all?
Oh, like before we go out? No.
Okay. So for wait, this is going to be really, really good for self-control. What it's also really good for is just before you go outside, setting it up for this focus. Because like I said, typically once even the leash goes on, a dog mentally is out the door. It's like, oh my God, there's gonna be birds out there. She's like already thinking about it. So you wanna keep that focus here. What I always say is a dog is at full self-control physically and mentally right here. So she's at the bottom of the scale. This is what you always wanna aim for, is that focus. And when she's seeing a bird or a dog, for instance, what a lot of people see is like, oh, she was totally fine on the walk and then a dog came along and she lost control. When you see this though, I see a buildup. So even just outside, if you think there's no distractions, out here is very distracting. Yes, there you go. So once she goes out the door, it's like, what's this smell? What's this? Oh, there's a bird, there's a squirrel. So that's rising. The more, and that's excitement is rising, and also just mentally, the longer she's zoning out away from you, the further she is from you mentally. So that's building, building, building. The more excited she is, and the more that she's zoning out with everything, the further she is from self-control and the further she is from you mentally. So if she's looking at all the birds, smelling things, and is up here when a dog comes along, she's this far from self-control. So it's gonna be hard for her to control herself. If, yes, you're being a good girl. You're a very good girl, Truffle. If you consistently bring her back down here before that happens, it's not gonna say she's not gonna get super excited about that dog, but it's gonna be a lot easier for her to control herself. Out. Wait. Okay. Very good. So usually that takes a lot longer to learn. That's amazing, and how she's checking in with you first. So what's important with her is to make her get that eye contact up at you before. Because if she's looking out the door again, she's mentally out there. So you wanna, here, I'm gonna have you do it with her now. And you only wanna say wait once. Okay. This is the hand gesture for wait.
Truffle.
Come on, Truffle. She's like, what the heck, we're outside.
Truffle, come here.
Let's go. Good girl. Okay. And keep that hand gesture up the whole time and make eye contact with her the whole time.
Truffle. Sit. Wait. Wait. Truffle.
Oh, only once?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Come.
Okay. And you said okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple things. So one, you want to, if you're going to be opening the door with this hand, I know it gets kind of confusing, put the gesture up the whole time. So what this does with these like longer exercises, people are more prone to say wait, 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 because you want her to keep waiting. So if you have this up, that's what you're telling her the entire time, so that when she checks back in, it's like, yes, wait. Anytime while you're opening the door, her focus is like that on the door, kind of pause where you are, say Truffle, or bup, 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 to refocus her up here. Remember what we're doing, because if she's zoned out the door, the more you open it, the more she's going out the door. So you want to try to get her back to you mentally first. Again, she is like, this is something like self-control wise that she doesn't even really need that much, because she willingly like sits there and waits, where most puppies are like pulling out the door, pawing at the door to go. Right. But it's just a matter of keeping her with us mentally, like from the start. Truffle, come here. The other thing, so I always try to aim for the whole time. If you think about, try to keep her focus on you the whole time. So I'm gonna tell her, Truffle, wait. Anytime she looks out that way, I'm gonna stop, redirect her, and see how I kind of like bend over a little, like, or put your hand there. Remember what we're doing. Look at me before I say it. Okay. Now go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, awesome. Want to do it again?
Yeah.
Your salmon collar is so cute.
Come here, Truffle. Come here.
You can do it.
Come here, Truffle. Come here.
And I know we're making it harder because we're out here. Truffle.
Truffle, come here.
Let's go. There you go. Yes.
Yes. So
Wait with the left hand.
Wait.
You're gonna open it. Yeah, keep
Okay.
it up.
Truffle.
And just keep redirecting her to that. As you go for the doorknob.
Oh,
Well, that's good.
that's good?
Yep.
Okay.
It means she's getting comfy kind of
Truffle.
waiting. Perfect.
Wait.
Only say it once. Yep, redirect her up to you. There we go. Now keep going. Perfect. Okay. Perfect.
Oh.
Ah! So start all over now if she doesn't do it.
Come here, Truffle. Truffle.
Make sure you
Okay.
focus before saying it. Now say it.
Okay.
Good girl.
Yes, good girl, Truffle.
And for not even knowing what she's supposed to be waiting for, she's doing literally amazing. Because it's like she's never had wait.
Yeah.
Wait for what? You
Yeah.
know, the door to open, you to go out, and she's not even trying to go out when you step out. So that's a really, really good. Good girl. See, that's what you can do before going out for sure. And then you want to smell everything, don't you? The other things you can use wait for. Does she get excited for eating?
Not really.
She doesn't?
She's not much one in like, I know she's like, you know, good, like crazy about treats and stuff, but
Yeah.
sometimes with her food,
Doesn't really care?
Yeah, it's just like I'll lay it down and sometimes she'll be super excited and then there's other times when she'll just like care less.
Funny.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Truffle. For treats too is do this. So I like to use wait. Wait. Ah. If she goes for it, I'm just gonna pull it back. Ah. 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 Okay. Good girl. So it's on your command. Like even if there's food in front of your face, on your command. And you obviously don't need to do that every time you give her a treat, you know? But it helps her to associate what she's waiting for too, like when we use it other places. But just really good for teaching her just some self-control, even like if there's a pizza sitting here,
Right.
that she's like, okay, I have to wait till I'm coming in. Not that she wouldn't go for it, but it just keeps her from like thinking, just gives her some more self-control around, you know, food items. Wait. Ah. Okay, good. So when she stops going for it, then you'll tell her okay.
Okay.
What you can do with the food bowl is like the time she's super excited to eat, is you can tell her, let's see, I'm filling up the food bowl. This is it. Truffle. Wait. Have the finger up. Lower the bowl. Up. So what we're doing is trying to shift the focus off of the bowl to here, to my finger, or to me. Ah. So if she gets up, we start again. Truffle. I know, we have you all confused now because you're on the leash. We could take her off of the leash. Truffle, look right here. Let me see it, please. Nice. Look at those friends. Show this. Ooh, what's that? A new one? Ready? And so when you do start over again, you can say that wait again. But again, only once. Truffle. Wait. Ah! So you're catching yourself a little bit? Really good. Wait. Ah! And each time she'll get a little bit more and more. Wait. And it's super important that if she starts to go, a lot of people are like, oh, okay. And not on her watch, you know, if she starts to go, even if you're just about to say okay, start it over. Because you have to make her know that it's whenever you say. Yeah, she's like, do you see me, Dad? Good girl, Truffle said. Yes. Truffle, wait. Okay. Okay. Yes, that's your magic word. She's like, am I loud? Good girl, Truffle. That was really good.